on the biological convention where we presented our case. Of course, some of our colleagues were still miting their hands, saying that all was already decided and rejected, and we came here in vain. We said clearly we are using mechanisms provided for in the convention. Since we were not able to use Article 5 of the convention, then we resort to Article 6, which provides for a decision of the Security Council to establish a commission of the Security Council to investigate our allegations. At present they are allegations, but they should be investigated. On the second meeting, which was private, we discussed what we raised earlier. This is not a secret. Of course, we discussed the situation. The Director General briefed us about the situation at the Zaporozhye power plant and his efforts to establish the protection zone around it. And we also raised the issue of potential allegations that the Kiev regime might be preparing a dirty bomb for Ukraine, a capability, a possibility, and the potential which it has, not just in those two facilities which were mentioned, but in other facilities as well. And we were appealing to our colleagues to make everything possible to prevent such a gruesome scenario. So that's basically the.
So on the dirty bomb, the IAEA is sending an inspection team. Yes. Does that satisfy Russia?
Well, I think that we said to Director General Grossi that he should be vigilant, because these facilities are not the only ones where that can be produced. Ukraine has a potential, as I said, and the agency should be vigilant, as well as Security Council members should be sending strong messages to Ukraine to prevent such a scenario. Of course, we heard the usual narrative from our Western colleagues, amounting to this is a false flag operation by Russia. We said we would be happy to be mistaken, but we cannot simply ignore these allegations, which are very serious and which may lead to very, very unfortunate consequences.
Mr. Ambassador, two questions. First, when are you planning to submit the resolution on Article 6? And secondly, what's Russia's answer to Ukrainian and some IAEA concerns that there are now two operations going on at Zaporizhzhia that are not necessarily synchronized?
You mean operations what?
Well, that Russia sent in more inspectors when it was the Ukrainians that were actually operating the plant.
I will not be able to answer the second question. That's a question that you should address to Rosatom or the Ukrainian Atomic Energy Agency. What concerns the resolution, we had the first round of consultations on it. We are planning to do the second one, and then we will be deciding when we'll put it to the Security Council.
Do you think it could be next week?
Everything is possible.
Ambassador, you always claim that Bucha is fake because you never got the full list of names of the victims. See here the full list, the first list of names of the Bucha victims published by Bucha City Council, and they have full list for you just to apply for them. Why do you claim that Bucha is fake? All the names are here.
Look, we discussed Bucha a long time, and we explained why we consider it a fake, because there were no reports about Bucha massacre when the Russian military left the city, and only 2 or 3 days after they left it, the Ukrainian side started saying that the Russian military committed a massacre there. Yes, I would be grateful if you could provide us with the names. Would you send?
Online.
Very good. Where is it? On what?
Bucha News.
Bucha News, okay, thanks.
Ambassador, given what you heard today from your colleagues in the Council,
Sorry?
Given what you heard today from your colleagues in the Council, how confident are you that you'll get enough support for this resolution?
Well, I cannot speak for my colleagues in the Council. I know who were objecting. The objections amounted to accusing Russia of propaganda games without any proof. But I told them that they should have read the 300-page materials where it's clearly it's clear from there that it's the military agencies of the countries that were cooperating, and this was not the humanitarian exercise as some of our colleagues claimed. There are orders, there are signatures by the military on the particular cooperation in the biological sphere. So, I mean, there is a lot of interesting documents. If they dared and took some time to read it, they would find many interesting things, not just the Russian propaganda.
And what's your response to accusations by several of your council colleagues that Russia is wasting the council's time?
We saw other wastes of time. I don't think that what we had today, this is a waste of time. Raising an issue of a potential radiological contamination due to the use of, say, of a dirty bomb is not a waste of time. This is a serious issue which should be dealt seriously.
Does Russia support a verification mechanism for the Biological Weapons Convention? As you heard, quite a number of council members expressed support for such a mechanism.
Yes, we are trying to use Article 6 for that purpose. Yes, it was not used before, but there is one day when we have to start. So we are using the mechanism provided for in the convention.
Ambassador, can I ask a question? Based on what all you know, what is the possibility of a dirty bomb or a nuclear bomb to be used in this conflict, regardless of
I would like, I hate to speculate on this. God forbid. We clearly said we're not planning to use any nuclear weapons, tactical or otherwise, in the conflict, but we cannot exclude, as we said in the meeting, that that can be a provocation that can be used by the other side. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming. The DG will say a few opening remarks.